know me yet, my parents came to this country over 40 years ago with almost no money. I went on to found multi-billion-dollar companies, and I did it while getting married and raising our 2 sons. That is the American dream. I am worried that that American dream will not exist for my 2 sons and their generation. Because I'll tell you what's going on with us. I'm 37 years old. I am the youngest person ever to run for the GOP nomination for U.S. President. Thank you. And I will tell you, speaking as a member of my generation, what's happening to us. We are hungry for a cause. We are hungry for purpose and meaning and identity. At a time in our national history when the things that used to fill that void, faith, patriotism, hard work, family, these things have disappeared. And that leaves a moral vacuum, a black hole in its wake. And when you have a black hole that runs that deep, that is when the poison fills the void. Wokeism, transgenderism, climatism, COVIDism, globalism, depression, anxiety, fentanyl, suicide. These are symptoms of a deeper void of purpose and meaning in our country. And odd enough, that may actually be our opportunity as conservatives to now level up, to say we're going to fill that void with our answer to what it means to be an American. For a long time, we as conservatives, we have been running from something. I am running for president to start leading us to something, to our vision of what it means to be an American today. You ask people my age that question, what does it mean to be an American? You get a blank stare in response. That is the vacuum. That is the void. That is the void that we will fill with our vision. It means we believe in the ideals that set this nation into motion 250 years ago. Ideals like meritocracy and the pursuit of excellence, that you do get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That is why I've said we will end affirmative action in America in every sphere of our life. It has been a cancer on our national soul. What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in the rule of law. That if you're like my parents, you do get to come to this country legally, through the front door, if you follow the rules. But it also means that your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why I have said that I will use the U.S. military to secure our own southern border and our northern border too. That is how we stand for the rule of law in the United States of America. What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in a radical dream that our founding fathers had. A radical dream that I have as a citizen, that the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not this managerial, bureaucratic, deep state that runs the show today. That is why I've said that as your next president, I will not promise you to reform those agencies. That is a false promise. When you have an agency that should not exist, an agency that has become so corrupt that it has abandoned the rule of law, from the U.S. Department of Education, to the FBI, to the IRS, to the ATF, to the CDC, we will not just reform them, we will shut them down. That is how we restore the integrity of a constitutional republic. I'll tell you, we fought an American Revolution in 1776 for the idea that we the people settle our differences through a constitutional republic where free speech and open debate is how we sort that out. Every citizen's voice and vote counts equally. That's how we do it on this side of the pond. For all of human history, it was done the other way. We said no to the old world view. They said we the people cannot be trusted to sort our own differences. We the people cannot be trusted with the truth. It had to be a small group of elites in the back of palace halls in the old world, today in the back of 3-letter government agency offices in Washington, D.C. We the people said no to that vision. We said, you know what? We can handle the truth. We can handle the truth about what happened with COVID-19, whether or not it began in a lab in China. We can handle the truth with respect to vaccination and mask mandates and school closures and shutdowns. We can handle the truth about a Hunter Biden laptop story on the eve of an election. We can handle the truth about what really happened on January 6th. This is what the American Revolution was about. We the people can handle the truth. And I will tell you this. That is the moment, and that is the moment we live in today. It is a 1776 moment in this country. That is the real choice we face in this GOP primary. There are many good people running, good-hearted people. I am not in this race and will not personally attack any of them. There are good people who wish to serve this country. We are running to something. We're not just running from something, attacking our neighbors. But there's a choice we face. There are good people in this race who will tell you this is the time for reform. We need to work within the institutions we have. We should incrementally reform them for the better. But that's a false promise. They don't know it's a false promise, but when those institutions, when that government, when that deep state has become so rotten, we can no longer just fix it from the top. This is not a moment for reform. I don't stand for reform. I stand for revolution. This is the moment of the American Revolution, those 1776 ideals that set this nation into motion 250 years ago. For me, November 2024, that is not the finish line. That is the start line. The finish line is January of 2033. When I leave office, when I will tell you that once again in the United States of America, we have 3 branches of government, not 4. We shut down the deep state and the administrative state. I will tell you in January 2033 that we are no longer dependent on our enemy, communist China, for our modern way of life. I will tell you in January 2033 that our economy is the fastest growing economy once again in the developed world. And most of all, I will tell you that day when I leave office that young Americans across this country, people my age and younger, are once again proud to be citizens of this nation because we tell them the truth. We trust them with the truth, and that is what we are doing in this campaign. We speak that truth. We speak it without apology. God is real. There are 2 genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the best known form of governance to mankind. Capitalism is the best system known to man to lift people up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government, not 4. And the U.S. Constitution is the strongest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We will not back down from the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what will win us the revolution.